So let's think about the relevant choice scarfers in OU. You've got Kartana, of course, and it's pretty dang fast, right? I think it's 109 base speed. You can run choice scarf Landers, which is a bit slower, but I don't necessarily know if that's the best one. Maybe Scarfer Shifu. So every Scarfer really sits around the base 90 to base 110 speed tier. Anything faster than base 110 can be somewhat difficult to justify because you are already dang fast, right? And generally want to focus on increasing your power past that point. Even something like Scarf Gengar, which I still think is quite good, often gets overlooked because it just isn't quite as powerful as it could be, and it has Nasty Plot, so I'd rather not run Scarf so that can run Nasty Plot, right? But anything lower than base 90, I think nowadays just really is not fast enough to be a choice Scarfer when you're getting naturally outsped by Pokemon without a choice Scarf or without any boosts, and that's really embarrassing, right? So no Scarf Nidokings even really nowadays. I used to really enjoy running Scarf Nidoking back in the day, but nowadays you would never run that. Anyway, really long side tangent there, but today I'm going to try to use Scarf Tentacruel in the OU tier. Now Tentacruel, of course, is not an OU Pokemon by usage, but Tentacruel has the same typing as Toxapex and has quite a few perks going for it. The first one, of course, and that is relevant to this context, is that it has base 100 speed. The base 100 speed tier is a decent speed tier for Scarf. Of course, you are outsped by Cephalon and Kartana, but the other one that you do outspeed is Tapu Lele. I guess that's the relevant Scarfer in the tier. And you outspeed Shufa, I suppose, as well. So you do have that going for you, right? Even, Scarf Flygon, same speed tier. You want to outspeed just about everything that's not choice Scarfed itself, and even a lot of the choice Scarfers, depending on who they are, you can outspeed those as well. And Tentacruel is interesting because you don't really see it that often, so people won't necessarily know what to think when they see it. And a choice Scarf set is the last set you'd think of when you think of Tentacruel, because it's really not a good set by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, one of the things you want as a choice Scarfer is a decent attack stat, and look at that attack stat on Tentacruel. It's got base 80 special attack. That's pretty bad. There's a lot of Pokemon in the OU tier that have their bad attacking stat at 80 or something like that, right? In fact, I think that, the majority of the offensive Pokemon in the OU tier have their bad stat at around 80. So to have your main attack stat be 80, that is pretty damning in my opinion. However, I think you can get some surprise utility out of this Scarf Tentacruel. And as I just mentioned, you got the Tapus. Now, Tapu Fini, I don't think would ever stay in on you, no matter what you are, because if it's Trick, why would I trick a Tentacruel, my choice Scarf? Right? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, great, I tricked it. Now it can't. What? It doesn't really do anything for the Tapu Fini, and of course, the Tentacruel can have Poison Jab or Sludge Bomb, and you would never want to stay in on that. If it's Tapu Bulu, it probably is not in the OU tier, but if it were, it would also switch because Tentacruel naturally outspeeds you and OHKOs you, and you don't have Grass Glide. Now, Tapu Koko, though, that's where things get spicy. So Tapu Koko, from 100%, the standard one with no bulk, just max attack or max special attack rather, and max speed, that one gets one shot guaranteed without any chip from Sludge Wave. We're running Sludge Wave because even though Sludge Wave has that nice 30% chance to poison, Sludge Wave is just that little bit more powerful. And since Tentacruel is so weak, I feel like having that ability to come in and revenge kill Pokemon that might not be expecting it, I think is that sort of nice. Now, Tapu Lele does not, I believe, get one shot by the Sludge Wave, unfortunately. It does require like 15%, 20% chip. But once that happens, even Scarf Tapu Lele, who thinks, oh, I can come in, outspeed you, kill you with a Psyshock, well, no, you're dead. And Tapu Koko, I think, is the place where we're going to get the most value out of this Tentacruel, because Tapu Koko is naturally faster than Tentacruel. It's the only one that's naturally faster than Tentacruel, and it's going to never think on Choice Scarf and so it's just going to U-turn and Volt Switch out on me. Of course, it probably is not going to stay in and try to Thunderbolt me because I have good SPDF and decent HP stat. So I don't think, maybe Specs Koko knocks you out from full, but that would probably be the only one, and that's only if. So probably Tapu Koko would not want to stay in, but it would probably try to pivot on you. And so I think as an anti-lead against Koko, this Tentacruel set is interesting in and of itself. Of course, if I bring in my Tentacruel on your Tapu Koko, that's screaming on Choice Scarf, and any good player should scout for that, but maybe they won't even do that. Who knows? We'll find out. Alright, I wanted to pair with it just some offensive Guard Chomp. Now you notice this Guard Chomp is just a standard SD Scale Shot set, but I ran a Roselli Berry on it instead of Leftovers or any other item, because again, as we look at the rest of the team, we're a little bit Koko weak, right? Cool if Tentacruel can get the kill, we don't have to deal with Koko, and that's sort of the idea. But if we do have to deal with Koko for whatever reason, then the Roselli Berry is there to just say, hey, I can mindlessly stay in. You don't have Hidden Power Ice in this generation. I'm going to take your Dazzling Gleam. I'm going to kill you with my Earthquake, and then we can move forward from there. I think that's the best chance this Guard Chomp has to deal with that. And who knows if it'll come in clutch other times. I may regret having the Roselli Berry. It's definitely a risk, but I believe in this case it's a calculated one. Okay, next up we got a little bit of bird spam going here. We got Corviknight. I put Brave Bird on this particular set, and to deal with grass types, especially Rillaboom, who we are, not wanting to grass glide my team. And the birds, that's sort of what they're here for. And it's going to be my Defogger, and that's, just a standard Corviknight spread. Zapdos is next. It's also here for Rillaboom to some extent, and Landorus to some extent. Both of them deal with Landorus as well, and Kartana as well. Now, this particular Zapdos is Discharge Heat Wave Toxic. I considered putting on U-turn, but I feel like having U-turn isn't as useful, and here's the reason why. I'm a pretty bad predictor when it comes to playing games. Like, if a person is playing in a way that I think is optimally, then I can predict that, but the amount of times that somebody plays the way you think is optimal is not always that great, especially because half the time what you think is optimal might not actually be optimal, and you're just not thinking of something. So, a lot of prediction just has to come down to knowing your opponent and having a lot of experience on the ladder. And I don't really have either of those. I'm more usually of an observer of this game than a player of this game, but I do like to play, and that's what these videos are for me at least. So we like to have U-turn on our teams. That way we can mindlessly click buttons. However, if I have a Zapdos out against your Landorus, and if I can get off, maybe you're a fast Landorus, I don't know. If I can get off some kind of U-turn on your Landorus, and I can get my Urshifu safely, then my Urshifu's here. But then you go your Toxapex, and I'm forced to U-turn knowing that you go to your Toxapex, and I'm back into my Zapdos. Well, I can't hit Discharge because you're just going to go back into your Landorus, right? And it's a vicious cycle that doesn't get me anything out of it, really. So I think it is overall a stronger option to have Toxic to wear down the Landorus, because this team is somewhat weak to it. And then my Zapdos plus Corviknight can deal with it. I think that's generally going to be better, but again, we'll see how good my predictions are today. Okay, Tyranitar is next up. Tyranitar is acting as a blanket check to fire types, to which I have technically resists, but nothing I really want to switch into it, right? Tentacruel has good SPDF stat, but not that good of SPDF stat, and against Shadow Ball, it's going to take a lot of damage. Tyranitar, for Blacephalon specifically, and so Tyranitar really helps with that. It also helps with Dragapult if Corviknight gets too worn down. And the other one that I was really specifically worried about when I put T-Tar on the team was Ninetales. Ninetales, of course, enables all those hail teams, which are really annoying for this team. Look at my team and look at Dracozolt. Cannot deal with Dracozolt. So you have to have some way to change the weather. And I'm not going to put a random Pelipper on and help the rain teams beat me down either. So I'll put it on Tyranitar. Hopefully that's sufficient. We'll find out. And in the last slot, instead of running Thunder Wave, I'm putting Ice Beam. I think there might have been a previous video where we used Thunder Wave. I don't really like it that much just because I feel like I miss a lot. And A lot of times they go into ground types, which can't Thunder Wave anyway, and I'd rather click Ice Beam on Landers and just get that out of the way. And then finally we're running a just standard Wristband or Shifu. Alright. Let's see if we can find a game. Okay, that was pretty fast. What is this team here? This is an interesting team. Okay, they maybe Scarf Rotom lead. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Scarf Rotom lead. In fact, they have a few mons on their team that could be Choice Scarf. It's either going to be Mew lead, or Rotom with Choice Scarf lead, or Final Gambit Victini lead. They could technically lead off with Zapdos, but I don't think they would ever do that when they have two birds in the back. Okay, they did lead off with Rotom. Now, since I led off with their Shifu, I don't think a Hydro Pump here ever. You could Will-O-Wisp, or you could Trick. I don't know what you would do. Do I need my Garchomp in this game? I don't think I do. So if they Will-O-Wisp me, it's not the end of the world. But I figured that they would Volt Switch like that. Good. Okay. So I'm going to go for Earthquake here. I'm pretty sure the Choice Scarf. And if they go into Weavile, I want to get Chip on it. If they go into Blissey, I'd like to do a good amount of damage. I'm actually going to SD up here. Then I can Scale Shot. I don't know how much that does to Rotom, but being able to punch a hole in my opponent's team early, it's definitely going to make the later game easier. Okay, is it teleport out? That's fine with me. Now they can go Weavile, but I do have a Shifu for that. Click the Weavile, my dude. Unless maybe he's calcing Rotom, and in which case, you know, I guess that's fair. But I'm getting defense drops, not Spadef drops. So yeah, Weavile is the answer. Gonna go Urshifu. Urshifu is a pretty decent answer to Weavile in most situations, I feel. As it just clicks the safe Ice Shard. Fair enough. Gonna click U-turn here. You stay in, you're dead. I think. I don't actually remember if Banded U-turn kills. But they go Rotom Wash. That's fair. And now, I actually want to look at this. Wash. Where are you at? Choice Scarf, just for sake of argument. And Tentacruel. Yeah, I didn't think so. It's really weak. It's not a strong Pokemon. Okay. I'm going to go into my Trainitar. I'm full Spadef. They can Trick here, but if they Trick, then they're slower than me, and I'll take that. And Stealth Rock is the only move that I need to click that's not just hit for damage. So I'll take it. Get up Stealth Rock. If they go and... Oh, wow, that was a risky play on their part. Okay, we don't see an item on this Mew. I want to go for... I actually don't know what I want to go for. If I had Crunch, okay, this is Cosmic Power. That's a major problem. I'm going to go into my Garchomp here. Wondered if it would be Cosmic Power. Cosmic Power, Stored Power is a major problem. I do outspeed though, and I can Earthquake here after +2. And I'm going to be doing lots of damage. This will be a neutral Earthquake to a Mew. So, what is this thing's item? Maybe it's Weakness Policy. Alright, I'm going to Sword Stance up again. They can Roost. They sort of have to Roost, I think. Okay, no they don't. They decided not to Roost. They can go Rotom here and save this. But now I know what their moveset is. I'm going to just keep on clicking Earthquake here. I'm doing almost 50%. I think that's the correct play. Actually, I'm going to SD up again. I wonder how much speed they have on this. I don't actually know how much speed Cosmic Power Mew runs. I imagine you have to run max speed at the very least to outspeed Urshifu. So yeah, they Cosmic Powered up again there. Okay, so this should do... I actually don't know the math on this. So I got +2 to their +1 there. So I feel like I should be doing 50% now, maybe. Yeah, that's 50 exactly. So now they're forced to roost, install all my earthquakes. And they choked. Good. So we avoid the Cosmic Power Meal. I wondered if it was, but it came in my Tyranitar and I didn't know really what to think about that. I'm gonna go to Urshifu again. I don't care if they Ice Shard or Ice Cold or knock off or whatever. But yeah, I didn't think that they would risk a sweep with the Garchomp. Alright. So we didn't get to see the Tentacruel at all in that game. But that's fine with me. Let's get another game. Okay. So this is a full, like, Gen 7 plus Rillaboom plus Aegislash team. So 6, 7, 8. I don't really know what their mentality was building this team. I guess the mentality is these things hit a lot of Pokemon and they're really good threats. So I'm going to use them. I'm going to leave Tyranitar as they go to Rillaboom. I'm going to go to Zapdos here. They don't get the static because, you know, why would you? We go into Nihilego. And I'm going to go into my Garchomp. Maybe. Yeah, as they go for Meteor Beam there. And they're just faster than me. I'm just going to click Earthquake though. And I'm Roselli Berry, so they're dead. Alright, that played out really well. Figured they'd have Dazzling Gleam on this set. That's not something you usually see, but you know, this is that kind of team that I feel like is going to have things you don't usually see. Would this be the Scarfer or the Bander on their team? And which do I need Zapdos for more? I don't actually know the answer to that question. I'm going to try Zapdos here. As they Leaf Blade in terrain, which is fair enough. And once again, we don't get the pair. Gonna have to click Roost here for 100% sure. Because I need to keep this healthy. Okay. Now, I need to keep Tyranitar healthy. And I don't know what the heck they're going to go for here. So I'm going to go into my Garchomp, who dies to any of their Beast Boosters. And can click Earthquake on the Scald set just fine. And then I'm going to go into my Urshifu. And they could go into the Tapu Fini, but I do have Tentacruel for that. And if they decide to click King's Shield there, then that would be fine by me. I don't know what kind of Tapu Fini this is. They may predict me to go into my Tentacruel. And they sort of do. Do I really care about this double though? I don't think I do particularly. I'm going to go into Zapdos again. It's a bit predictable. But once again, no para. I am static. Just going to double check that. Is it going to Aegislash? I'm going to go for Discharge here. As once again, we don't get the para. I didn't do enough to break the sub. So I'm going to go for Heat Wave now. As they go for that. That's fair enough. Now I'm going to go for Heat Wave Discharge, Heat Wave Discharge, Heat Wave. Okay, so they go into that. That's fine by me. I'm going to Tentacruel again. Okay, I'm going to click Scald here. And, you know, they're in Misted Terrain. I'm not going to be able to burn them. But it is what it is. I'm going to go into my Tyranitar now. I guess I should have done that in the previous turn now that I think about it. I'm going to click Earthquake here. So I want to get off as much damage as I can. I'm going to Stealth Rock on their King's Shield because that one is extremely obvious. And then I'm going to go into my Zapdos here. Yep, because I figured they'd go into Rillaboom, and I can get off a Roost. As they go back into their Aegislash. Good. Alright, so they should King's Shield here, but if they don't, I'm just going to click Heat Wave. Good. as they get off a sub. Gonna click Roost on the King's Shield. Fortunately, my opponent is somewhat predictable, so that's really helping here. I'm gonna click, what do I want to click here? There's Shifu here. Yep. And I'm gonna go for a U-turn. Doesn't matter if the King's Shield again, I'll get the U-turn off. Because they go Kartana. Fun. I'll go Corviknight here and click the U-turn. They may just click knock off. I don't even know what they'd want to do here. But no, they go Aegislash. That's good. They'll go back into Urshifu. They'll click Searching Strikes again. Their Kartana actually took quite a lot of damage, so that's in my favor. And the Tapu Fini is also looking pretty dang low. Let me just see. Oh no, I am seeing leftovers on this, so I outspeed this, and I can just kill it. So now the Tapu Fini is gone. So if they lose the Misty Terrain, then that I think might favor me if I'm going for pairs and whatever. I'll go Corviknight, no point going Zapdos when the Misty Terrain is up. And then I'm going to go for U-turn here, slow U-turn. And then we're going to go to the damage calc, and we're going to go to Tentacruel. We're going to go to Kartana, and their Paper Cut. And Ice Beam is my best play here. So I'm going to go into this. And they're going to be like, oh, they choked. But no, I'm Choice Scarf. So you're dead. Okay, good. Tentacruel showing its worth there. Go into Trainitar. That's why it's here. Now I'm just going to click Rock Blast. Rock Blast should go through sub, and now they're dead. That only required 2 hits. Woo! That was a good game. Good game, good game. I'm glad to see my my Tentacruel's Choice Scarf actually vindicating itself. Okay, and they probably... Well, actually, they weren't even Choice Scarf plus Self-Lawn. Did they not have a Choice Scarf on that team? I don't know. That's weird. Okay. Now, let's see. They got a Bisharp. That's not every day you see a Bisharp, I feel, personally. Alright. I'm going to lead off with the Trainitar. I don't know what you would lead against my team, but I figured maybe Gengar. But I'm not going to say, oh yeah, totally I knew it was going to be Gengar, but hey, look at that. That works out. I don't think there's any way you stay in, try to risk a Focus Blast or anything like that. I'm going to go Corviknight, which I think is a totally fair play. I'm going to go into my Zapdos here, as they're not going to risk U-turn. They're just going to go hard into their Garchomp as I Toxic. Okay. And now I'm going to go into my Corviknight, because... What would your rocker be on this team? I'm going to go Tentacruel. It's a big risky play. Okay. As they go into Bisharp. Okay, I was not expecting that. So they were expecting me to go into something else. I don't even know what. I don't want to lose my Choice Scarf on this, though, because my whole play was to use Ice Beam on the Garchomp there. I had to go for Psycho Cut. I was not expecting that, boys. Okay, I'm going to go for the close combat here. And I kill them. Okay. What the heck is my opponent doing? I don't understand what my opponent's idea was with that move. Okay, Corviknight again. Although okay, the Dragon Clawing me. How did they get this high up on the ladder with this kind of team? As I use a Scarf Tentacruel. Okay, Zapdos time. I'm going to click Discharge again. I don't care if they go into their Garchomp, because if they do so, they're just taking toxic damage as they bulk up. And they're not even like Weakness, Policy, Agility, so that didn't really work out for them. Okay, so I go Gengar. I can go Trainitar. If you click Focus Blast, cool, bruh. But you're going to have to hit that, and I'm going to risk it. Okay, as you get it, good on you. And now I've got to figure out how I want to live this. Okay, I've got to maybe go Garchomp, I should think. Gengar. If Gengar hits its Focus Blast, it's a very scary Pokemon to face. If it doesn't hit its Focus Blast, then it doesn't do jack. So it all comes down to that, really. Garchomp at +2, it never kills, and obviously I kill it back, so I'm going to go into Garchomp. Okay, go for Earthquake. This doesn't kill, ever. And I got my Earthquake disabled. Fantastic. Okay, they go Tapu Fini. I'm going to Tentacruel on that. And, let's just go for Sludge Wave. I think that's the safest play there. As they obviously go into their Garchomp, that's fine by me. And then I'm going to sack my... Okay, the Tapu Fini is leftovers, so my Garchomp will outspeed it, and that has utility. I'm going to sack my Corviknight, I think. Because I don't think the Fire Fang. So this isn't really even a sack in the first place. There's the SD there. And I'm going to go into my Tentacruel again. Now I can click, I believe Scald is safe here. Tentacruel. Oh, I put that in twice. That's not right. 30% minimum. Scald. That way their blades can't come out and set up on me. Okay, so now they know that I'm Choice Scarfed. Unless they weren't max speed. But we're gonna go for Scald here. And I will outspeed the first turn naturally. As they are Thunder Punch of all the moves. Now we go Garchomp, because if they have no move like Earthquake, then they have to make contact, and they'll be double down. So now I can go into Zapdos, and I can just spam Discharge until somebody dies. That was an interesting play. I don't know why you would do that. How much Tapu Fini? I don't want to give my opponent too much credit or anything, so I'm not going to play around like trying to roost on his protects. I'd rather just kill him if I can. Okay, that first of all, that is a dirty roll. He's outside of the range of the roll, but holy cow, that is a crazy range. And Urshifu afterwards will do 30%. So there's no way they can win this matchup. And they didn't even get whatever that roll was. Okay, good. Alright. So I was able to get at least one kill with the Tentacruel there. The crazy Bisharp play there with the Psycho Cut. But I'm glad I didn't stay in with the Tentacruel because I would have died. I'm pretty dang sure. So, okay, another team. They've got a Tapu Bulu and a Landorus. Alright, so we're going to go back into the damage calc and refresh our memory. Tentacruel against Tapu Lele. You can see the Sludge Wave requires about 30% damage to guaranteed kill. So I don't want to lead off with that. I'm going to lead off with my Corviknight. If they lead off with Tapu Lele, then I can U-turn out on it. And hopefully, I don't actually know how much Corviknight's U-turn does off the top of my head, because you don't really think about that. Okay, that doesn't quite do enough. Because they lead off with Lando. I'm gonna Brave Bird here. I'm gonna Defog. Yeah, I feel like that's max defense Lando. Because, I mean, I know I'm intimidated, and I know I don't have any investment, but that's a lot. I mean, that's barely any damage, rather. Okay, we just Defog there. Now I'm gonna go into my Tranitar. You know, this can Earth Power, or it can Toxic. It has Toxics. I'm gonna set up Stealth Rock here. It'll force their Corviknight to Defog. And then I can go into my Zapdos. And they probably will Defog here. As they said, the Body Press. I'm gonna Discharge. Just because that's the safest play, and it only doesn't hit Landorus, which I have Toxic for. So I don't need to predict that. Because I want the Landorus to get static in some way. Or status, rather than static. Now, if it's them faster, that's fine. Okay, so it sets up rocks again. Okay, and I'm gonna click. What do you think this set is, guys? Stealth Rock, U-turn, Earthquake, Toxic, Knockoff. I'm gonna go to Corviknight because if this is Toxic, I don't want it to get Toxic, right? Good, good, good. I'm glad I was using my brain there. I don't always use my brain, but when I do, it's Dos Equis. Alright, they're gonna U-turn out. They could go Heatran. If they're Flame Body, I could get burned here, but I'm not using this Corviknight for my damage. So that's fine by me. And then at this point, they don't really like to switch into Urshifu, I feel like. So we're gonna go into... yeah, Urshifu, because Garchomp invites in Tapu Bulu. And Urshifu also invites in Tapu Bulu, but like, this is gonna do a lot of damage. Is my thinking. And this is Corviknight, and that's fine. Do I want the Corviknight dead that much? I sort of do, because that helps my Garchomp sweep. And I'm just gonna go for it, because I think I'll live. If I'm calculating that right. Because there'll be 1 hit, and Rocky Helmet, and then 2 hits, and Rocky Helmet. So I do live. And I resist Stealth Rock. So I think... how much does Stealth Rock do if you resist? I think it does 12% normally. So I think I'll have 1 more hit in me. If I'm not being dumb. And if I ever get Grassy Terrain up, that'll really help too, right? Okay, let's go Zap. Yeah, Zapdos. Okay. I'm going to calc that. I don't think that's necessarily banded. I'm not looking at that and I'm like, wow, that's choice banded. But you never know. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's choice banded. Good. So then I can click Heat Wave. And if they don't get static, because of course they don't, then I can go into my Garchomp. It is 86% minimum. So if they are 94% HP, then Fire Fang. Oh, actually, no, they outspeed me. Come on, Ralts, what are you doing? Dummy. Okay. I'm gonna go into my Corviknight now, actually. I'm just gonna click Brave Bird. I don't really know if I have that much of a play besides that. They've seen that I have leftovers, not Rocky Helmet, so it's not really that big of a deal for them. And I guess maybe I actually could have gone into my Tyranitar. That might have been a better play, now that I think about it. Tyranitar is nice for Heatran, but they actually switch out, which I will take, because after some chip, you know, they're in range of +1 Garchomp with Garchomp speed, right? But then a lot of speed. So I think that's fine with me. I'm gonna go back into Tyranitar. I'm gonna Tapu Bulu. Yeah, sure, you got me. I will go into my Corviknight again. Because if they hit the Superpower or the Wood Hammer, then I can get out of that okay. Okay, let's see what they do. Yeah, close combat. That was a lovely little crit. And this is just Life Orb, so it's not even like... that's choice banded, I can switch or anything. Alright. I'm going to go into my... I want to go into Urshifu. You know, I can't defog now. Yeah, I don't remember if I live or not. Yeah, I thought I did. Okay, we're gonna click Searching Strikes here because they're -2 defense. This is a crit. You know, I'm not gonna calc it, but I feel like this kills. And Tapu Lele doesn't want to come in on it. If they go Kartana, then that's fantastic. And I'll get Terrain, but I think the Sandstorm hits me first, so I should die. Yeah, because the Sandstorm hits me first. That's what I thought. Good. Okay, I'm gonna go into Garchomp now. Okay, so going to Landorus. And I'm going to set up my Scale Shot first. That way I can outspeed the Kartana in the back. I think that's the play to go for there. Okay. As the click Earthquake there. And Earthquake is going to do a lot more this time around, I can tell you that much. Do I have to go for a flinch this turn? I feel like I have to go for a flinch this turn. Just see if I can get one. Nope, they went for that instead. Alright, I'm going to go for a scale shot again. No flinch, but that's fine. As they U-turn out. Alright, that was a odd series of plays on both our parts. I'm sure both of us are very confused. Okay, I'm going to scale shot again. Yep, that was obvious as obvious. I'll go Tentacruel here. It will not kill Tapu Lele. But it's all about sending a message. Sludge Wave! Oh wow, got the 10%. And they Moonblasted. Holy cow, I could not have asked for a better turn. I could not have asked for a better turn. That is fantastic. And now I'm forced to switch. But, you know, we take those. And we got a kill with the Tentacruel on top of Lele. So GG to my opponent. That was an interesting game. But and I didn't win it, so I want to get one more. But we at least got the kill on the top of Lele, which was pretty cool. Alright, one more game. Alright, we've got the Rillaboom Kartana Magnezone Core. So this is like every team that you'll ever face on the ladder. And of course, even though it's like every team you'll face on the ladder, my team is not necessarily equipped to handle it. Because I didn't care to. Let's see. Sludge Wave is that's like a 69% chance to OHKO. And that's nice. Do I want to risk it? We'll find out. I feel like they'll lead Rillaboom, because the whole point of this team is to lead off with your grassy terrain setter. I don't know. Okay. Now Landorus. Let's see what we can get with this. Landorus Therian. Against this. Ice Beam to max HP. But that is also a 69% chance to KO. Let's try it. I just want to do it for science. Alright, that is full on Spadef Landorus. I tell you what. Now they don't know I'm Scarf, because since that is full Spadef, then there is no way that's got any speed, and I will naturally outspeed Landorus. But still, holy cow. Now they know I have Ice Beam, which is sort of a weird thing to see on Tentacruel, maybe. If I were Specs, I would have done more, obviously. Would that have killed with Choice Specs? I wonder. Alright, Magnezone come out. Magnezone is a problem Pokemon. You Flash Cannon here? I feel like you Flash Cannon here. It's a really safe play and it doesn't really get punished at all. Well, I'm gonna go Garchomp anyway. Yep, as they, I think that... Is that analytic or is that just the normal Specs damage? I don't know. Okay. I'm going to go into Zapdos now, because that deals with the Landorus double, or them deciding to stay in and trying to predict me. Right, because I resist the Flash Cannon, and I can Toxic the Landorus. So that's what we're thinking here. Okay. Yep, there we go. So I think that was a pretty safe double. Now they could have Toxic of their own, and that would be sad. But they just decide to U-turn, and I'll take it. Now, I'm pretty dang sure that that was either Specs or Analytic or both. But I don't actually know my Magnezone calcs. So it's Specs. Okay, that's at least Choice Specs. So it's not like this weird Assault Vest nonsense. Although Assault Vest Magnezone is pretty fun. And Heat Wave will do quite a lot to that. So let's go for Heat Wave here. And it does do a lot. There's the Flash Cannon trying to do something. I don't know what. I'm going to Roost. So go Heatran. Yeah, okay, that's cool, I guess. And I'm going to go Garchomp because I don't really get too much value out of this Garchomp at this point. It's too low HP. and they can just Magma Storm. So that's fine. I'm going to go into Urshifu now because they have absolutely no switch-ins to Urshifu. If their Landers, no Landers is leftovers, they can go Tapu Lele, predicting me to close combat. And once the Tapu Lele is gone, close combat is absolutely free against their team. By searching strikes, I think is best until that point. As actually are mad lads and go into the Kartana hard. If I had gone for close combat there, that would have been a fantastic read. But they predicted me to make the safe play, and there we go. Okay, I'm going to Roost again. I want to keep this nice and healthy. I'm going to go into Tyranitar as they go for Magma Storm and miss. That's what you get for using that move. And now I'm going to go for Earthquake as they go into their own Landers. And all they've shown so far is U-turn. I don't think that they would Earthquake this turn. I'm actually going to click Ice Beam here. So I feel like you'd either click Toxic, predicting the Zapdos or Knockoff or something. So I got Toxic, but I would rather have this Toxic than the Zapdos when they've got Rillaboom Kartana in the back. And I need this for Tapu Lele, but you know how it is. Okay, we're going to go into Corviknight. Corviknight's tasked with dealing with the Rillaboom. I think at this point the Kartana, of course, is nerfed to the point I'm not nervous about it, but still. Okay. I suppose I should have been thinking about that. I'm going to U-turn, but of course I die. But now I get to go into Urshifu, and I'm just going to click Close Combat here. Last time they decided to sack their Kartana. Actually, their Kartana is paralyzed. Yeah, okay. So they sacked that, which is what they should have done. They got what they wanted from the Magna Zone by killing the Corviknight, which was probably a miss by my part for sure. Alright, so they go Rillaboom, which is fair, but I still have my Zapdos, which can still paralyze them, and they still have to worry about that, right? So far we've gotten one paralysis this video, but it looks like this guy used up all of his luck tokens earlier, and so we actually get a double paralysis, and now his Grass Core is dead and moot. I still want to save this though. I'm going to go to Tyranitar. 70% tells me what? Does that tell me that it's choice specs? Moonblast is 60 to 71. And that did that much. Yep, so we got like a max roll on choice specs Moonblast. That's fine by me. I will take that. I'm gonna go for Earthquake here as I go down. But at this point, I can go into my Tentacruel and go for Sludge Wave. Now they don't know I'm Choice Scarf, and I naturally outspeed them because they do switch, which is fair enough on their part. That's a good play because they're not Choice Scarf. So Tapu Lele is not Choice Scarf. Why would I want to say it, right? But that's such a massive threat that I don't feel like it's a good idea to try to predict that, you know? Look at Smart Urshifu, they're locked into Smart Strike, which means I feel like I can deal with that just fine. And I'm going to go for Close Combat here and knock them out. If they want to go Rillaboom, they can. Rillaboom still has Grassy Glide, so it's still a threat. Okay, and that is a roll to kill maybe. We'll find out. As it is a roll to kill and they get the roll. I'm going to go into my Tentacruel here and go for the Sludge Wave again. Although they might go into their Urshifu, they might also just try to stay in and sack this. I'm not sure what kind of play they would make here. Yeah, okay. And they do get the live, so that's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm going to have to just hope they get paralyzed a couple of times, because otherwise I can't kill the... Wow, I got so lucky there. Because otherwise I can't kill the Tapu Lele if I'm locked into close combat, right? If I'm locked into close combat, I can kill the Rillaboom if they get one pair, and that's all I would need. That's fine. And I can kill the Heatran, but their Tapu Lele is not status. So that guy, I feel sorry for that guy. He got the first time pairs on both the Rillaboom and the Kartana, and I got the double pair at the end. I do think they choked because they should have gone for Grassy Glide on the last turn. I guess they were not choice banded because they were able to switch it up on the last turn. But still, I'm pretty sure, and even non-choice banded Grassy Glide kills. Maybe I was out of range. I don't know how much that is. Let's check that. I don't want to say something real dumb. I say dumb stuff all the time though, so don't worry about it. Okay, yeah, Grassy Glide, but it's out of terrain. Oh wait. Okay, I'm dumb. The grassy terrain was gone. And so it wasn't priority anymore. Alright. Yeah, for those of you yelling at your screen, I figured it out. So, grassy terrain only had to go, and I just had to get 2 pairs in a row. So it wasn't they switched it up, they probably were choice banded. Because if we look at Zapdos, it never takes 30%. Yeah, it was choice banded. So yeah, they got the double pairs and the first turn pairs from said pairs. I definitely made a couple misplays in this. I shouldn't have sacked my Corviknight to the Magnezone. Obviously, I should have just gone Zapdos on the Rillaboom instead of the Corviknight. That was a really dumb play. Another dumb play I made was at the end game. Let's see, where was it? When I was facing against the Rillaboom here on turn 23 and he comes out at the end of the turn, instead of going into Zapdos hard, I should have sacked the Tentacruel. Because the Tentacruel, as you saw, does not live Grass Glide in terrain, choice banded. And obviously, I sort of knew in the back of my head that wasn't going to live. Tentacruel has pretty bad defense, and choice banded Rillaboom is blowing back all sorts of poison types all the time. So obviously, some neutral hit, easy KO. I should have easily sacked it there. And then it wouldn't have been a 2-hit KO on the Zapdos, and the Zapdos could have roosted it off easily. That's what I should have done. That would have been a way better play there at the end. So instead, I had to get bailed out by the double pair, but we did, and that's why we go for static Zapdos. As you can see, that most of my games, I did not get any form of static, and in some instances, that maybe mattered. I don't know. But in this game, I got the lucky static on both of the Pokemon that I needed it to, and that actually came in clutch to help me win the game. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So as you can see, every time we went to the damage calc for Tentacruel, it barely does any damage. It's a really weak Pokemon. Even in that 4 times effective super, 4 times super effective Ice Beam on this Landorus here, it was full on Spadef. It took nothing. Of course, the Landorus wasn't predicting Ice Beam, and it U-turned. If it had Earthquaked, it would have done a lot of damage. Although I don't know if it would have killed because it was a really Spadef Landos, so it wouldn't have been very strong. But in any case, fun team. I think that for the most part it's very standard except for the Tentacruel. But if you want to play around with it, let me know how it does. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.